So, a double FAM again this week because United played midweek in the Champions League against Villarreal and on Saturday daytime against Everton. And a quick summary in case you didn't know, the Champions League game went pretty well. The Everton game looked to be going okay and then completely fell apart. Fan viewers will be hoping that I can do much better, and obviously I hope so too. Let's dive into the app and see what my predictions were for the week. So United versus Villarreal finished 2-1 in favour of the home team, with the first goal from Alcácer, then the second goal from Alex Telles, and the final goal, and probably one of the most exciting moments for a long time for United, was when Ronaldo popped it in the back of the net in the 95th minute. Let's take a look at their lineups. And as you can see, it was De Gea in goal, Dalot, Lindelof, Varane and Telles, who was subbed off, Pogba, who was also subbed off, McTominay, Greenwood, who was also subbed off, Bruno, Sancho, who was also subbed off, and Cristiano Ronaldo, who thankfully lasted the full 90 minutes, plus those extra 5 that we needed. But my prediction for the lineups was a pretty good prediction. Look, 60 points, 10 out of 11 players correct, and the correct formation. I got the whole of the back line, the goalkeeper. I thought he was going to go with McTominay and Fred because he'd been talking about them in the press conference, but instead it was Pogba was in the midfield because he wanted to get Greenwood on the pitch as well, which I can understand. But for the correct score, I predicted 4-2 and it was exactly half of that. But I still deserve my kudos because it was a United victory. I predicted first scorer to be Fernandes, and he was instrumental in the goal because it was his free kick. And I saw him talking to somebody, and I thought, surely the defenders of the other team can see him talking to somebody else as well. But Telles was just left there completely unattended, and he struck it with absolute perfection. But he couldn't have done that if it weren't for such a great delivery from Fernandes in the first place. I thought the man of the match would be Sancho because I feel like he's long overdue a star performance. But the one who did get the star performance was De Gea because he made some amazing saves and really kept us in the game through the first half in order for us to then come alive in the second. I think probably on the 90th minute, the way that the game had gone, that United would have settled for the draw if it weren't for that extra impetus that they got from having Ronaldo there, because he doesn't want to settle for a draw. He wants to win all of the games. And this was actually a significant game for him because he became the most capped player of the Champions League history, having beaten Iker Casillas to the title. And now on to United versus Everton. I don't really understand how the fixture list worked this last few weeks because, look, United at home, United at home, United at home, United at home. Away, away. So we're not alternating at all. We've got a run of 4 home matches, and based on last season's form, we tend to do better away from home than at home. And the Everton match was just such an example. But let's take a look as to exactly why. Oh yeah, the goals were from Martial on the 43rd and Townsend on the 65th. The lineup was De Gea, Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Varane, Shaw, McTominay. Fred was substituted, Greenwood, Bruno, who was captain in the absence of Harry Maguire, Martial, who was also substituted, and Cavani, who was also substituted. My lineup, my predicted lineup, I only got 30 points this time because I thought well, actually no, I think I got confused because I thought that they'd played a 4-3-3 earlier in the week, and so I thought that they were going to play 4-3-3 again today, and they didn't. And I only got 6 out of the 11 players. Look, I predicted De Gea, Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Varane correctly, but I thought Telles because I felt like Shaw wasn't match fit, and having watched him today, I still feel the same. Telles having scored as well, maybe it wouldn't have been such a bad idea for him to play 2 consecutive games. I thought the middle 3 was going to be Fernandes, Matic and Pogba. Because there was so much talk about Fred and McTominay earlier in the week, that I felt like that was a typical Ollie double bluff, and that he didn't actually intend to use them, but of course he did. I thought Sancho was going to play, and I thought Ronaldo would start. This would actually be my ideal front 3, because I don't expect Cavani to last 90 minutes anyway, and I think Cavani and Greenwood sharing the same position, as I've mentioned in earlier videos, is good for both of them. It reduces the chance of Cavani getting injured, and it means that Greenwood can grow into the role without having all of the pressure on his shoulders. But I was really surprised to see Martial come out, because the last match that he played, he was so absent that I thought that was basically his swan song. And for him to score as well, I mean, what can you say? The fact is that that for the number 9 position, which he obviously wanted for some time, he's now behind Ronaldo, then Cavani, then Greenwood as 4th choice. And moving him back over to the left, he might not like that very much, but in a similar way, when Rashford's back, that would make Rashford 1st choice for left, then Pogba 2nd choice, maybe even Sancho 3rd choice, and so Martial would still be 4th choice again. So I wouldn't be surprised if he makes a move out in January. But my predicted scoreline was completely wrong, because I thought that United had put the blip behind them and were going to come out firing on all cylinders. And you know what? I thought they played fantastic for the first 25 or 30 minutes. The shock of the starting lineup being so different from what I was expecting, wore off very quickly for the way that they were passing it around, moving. They just looked really well organised. My first scorer prediction was wrong. Right position, wrong player. But I'd be surprised if there were many users of the app who correctly guessed not only that Martial would play, but also that he would score as well. 2 things which happen very seldom of late. My man of the match prediction was wrong as well, because I thought Cavani was going to do it, and it was Bruno Fernandes. I've mentioned before on other videos about how, if in doubt, stick Bruno in the man of the match selection. So here we are in the Champions League, and if you recall, Wan-Bissaka was not allowed to play because he got a red card. So I'm going with 3 at the back, with Bailly, Varane and Lindelof in front of De Gea. With Matic alone as the CDM, Pogba and Fernandes in the midfield. I've got Greenwood over on the left instead of the right, because these two can switch as much as they like, but Greenwood is ambidextrous, and I think that we're losing a lot of Sancho because he would prefer to play from the right. And Sancho definitely has to play because I've got 2 players in the striker position, Ronaldo and Cavani, who are both good at receiving crosses. Another thing about having Greenwood on the left is his tendency to cut inside and try and score will be slightly tempered by the fact that he prefers to do that from the other side. So maybe he'll be more likely to pass the ball over to Ronaldo instead. Remember, Greenwood is one of my absolute favourite players, but I see him as a long-term project, and we've got to get the most out of Ronaldo now while he's still physically up to the task. Oh yeah, my substitutes included both Fred and McTominay. And Lingard, who I think will come on late. And I've just got to deselect the controller. Oops, I don't know what I'm doing. Technical difficulties. It's because for the setting up purposes I'm just using that without even putting the clip on the end of it. So, back to the start of the match. Are you ready? Excellent then. Bruno got distracted by me looking down at the other computer. Ooh. And I've just given you an example of why Ollie tends to prefer Lindelof to Bailly. You see, Bailly is better than Lindelof in moments, but he's also much worse in moments as well. And especially in a European match, you don't want him going and getting himself sent off. Nobody could have predicted Wan-Bissaka last match because he doesn't normally get sent off. But I've done it again. I'm too busy talking to you lot, and I've let them score. Let's see if this kicks me into gear. Pogba's doing all the work. Oh, and he had a crack. Je suis le Pogba. Here he comes up. Oh, and he's through. This is Pogba's game today. Ronaldo's playing too far back, I don't know that. But as was the case in the real game, if he only gets into the box once and scores, then it was well worth it. Look, Pogba's everywhere though. He's even back on the right hand side defending now. Oh, Bruno. Come on, pass it on. Oh, trying to be clever. Great tackle. Eh? No, that was a good tackle, sir. That was a better one. Matic keeps it steady. Chips one over. Oh. Well, I don't really feel like I'm losing because they're playing pretty well. And there's still plenty of time to get back into the game. Oh, don't try and do everything though. That was a bit clumsy. Yellow already. For me, Varane has been an absolute stalwart since his arrival. And for me, he's already the defender that would be the first on my team sheet. But for all the Lindelof haters out there, I actually think Varane and Lindelof might be a better combination than Varane and Maguire. That's clumsy. Hey, on the Varane question though, maybe even Varane and Bailly could work better, because Varane's got plenty of experience playing with a Maverick by his side from all those years with Sergio Ramos. Oh, and Bruno gets us right back in it just on the 45th minute. That's a great piece of individual skill. Let's see that again. Was it left or right foot? Left foot. I thought for a moment I'd overrun it. So I'm very happy with that one. Keep the pressure up, boys. I've got a lot of yellow cards already though. This is getting quite disconcerting. Discombobulating. Fran goes light into a challenge. And at half time, it's 1-1. Of course, if you remember in real life, it was 0-0 at this point. Now, for fan viewers, I will just say that there is a certain element of, well, obviously it's unrealistic, but the fact that I've already seen the real match means that I can pick players based on what they actually did rather than what I think they might have done. But in this case, the four at the back with Tellez and Dalot, I wouldn't have chosen that anyway. And while Tellez might have scored a wonder goal, Dalot was an absolute liability the whole way through the game, and I was amazed he didn't get subbed off. Well, no, I wasn't amazed, to be honest. I would have subbed him off. In fact, no, I wouldn't have put him on in the first place. Oh. And the thing that I like about the idea of Cavani and Ronaldo is Ronaldo famously doesn't press very much, but Cavani is the most energetic of all of the forward players when it comes to pressuring for a mistake. And he put great pressure on the goalkeeper and almost got a goal. Like that. Oh. Just keep them nervy at the back, don't let them get relaxed. Oh. See, Varane's another one who's just always in the right place at the right time. You notice it more with Ronaldo because being in the right place as a striker means you score. But for a defender, being in the right place at the right time means that nobody scores. And something not happening is less noticeable than something happening. Go on. Gets a head to it. Bruno doesn't score with a head very often. In fact, I don't think I've ever seen him score with his head. Bruno, if you're watching, I want to see a header next week, please. Oh no, you can't. Maybe on international duty. But we've taken the lead, 2-1. Keeping up with the real life score. Let's see if I can better it. I might think about substitutes soon. I don't want to get a red card on my own. Oh, that's another way that we can change the rules of the FAM as we go. Is if I get a player red carded, they wouldn't miss the next match because they weren't red carded in real life. So what I could say is that there was an inquiry afterwards and they were found to have not been at fault, and so they don't miss the next match. I'm worried about Wan-Bissaka having to miss 2 games. I think that's a bit harsh because it was just a clumsy tackle. It wasn't anything malicious or overly aggressive. Oh yeah, here we go. Now, you wouldn't like this at all, but Ronaldo's played his part. And so he's going to step aside for Lingard, who in turn is going to switch for Greenwood. I don't know whether to put Lingard over on the right. No, I like him on the left. Oh, was Matic getting a bit tired though? You know, I'm going to change Matic as well. I'm going to put McTominay. Couldn't keep it in. Now I think Digital Manager, namely me, wouldn't be any higher status than Ollie when it comes to managers who can piss Ronaldo off. But I think in this match he would accept my decision because he's done everything he needed to do. Looking nervy now though. Big clearance from McTominay. Getting in each other's way. Ooh. quickly. Quick release. Nice pass. Go on, Cavers. Not quite the pass I was intending. Go on, Sanchez. Well, a perfect replica of the real match. Maybe my game was a bit more comfortable, but without the excitement of the late goal. They had more shots than me, so the hair kept me in it as well. Twice as many shots on target, they had better possession, I got more tackles in, I committed a lot more fouls though, 2 yellows, and only 1 corner in the whole match. So I'll stop here and then go straight into the next one. And I'm back with game 2, and that's United versus Everton. For this match I've gone to the 4-3-3, the modified 4-3-3. Shaw's back in, Lindelof and Varane holding the line, Wan-Bissaka, McTominay being the CDM this time, and I've made him captain as well. Pogba and Fernandes. Maybe a little controversial, I'm starting Ronaldo out on the left, but I'm expecting him and Greenwood to move around a lot, and Sancho on the right. I might have even considered Martial on the left, but because that's what Ollie did, I don't want to just copy his team exactly. So I've kept Martial ready on the bench along with Cavani, Van der Beek's sulking still, and Lingard, Telles, etc. Oh yeah, and Everton have their true to life lineup. It's a Premier League. Let's go. Oh, Sancho tries to stamp his authority on early. I should be more careful to not shoot with the left. Bruno got away with it in the last game. Oh, no wonder he got through so easy. I've done it again. And still nobody's left a comment to tell me whether it makes any difference to the CPU doing it this way or not. Nice pass and moves. Don't want to peak too soon though, like they did in the real game. Oh, and Luke Shaw steps up. I did shoot with the left that time. You don't get many in this season, but when he does, everyone remembers it. He just had so much space, he's like, well, if you're not going to come and get me, I'll do it myself. Come on, Scotty. Now, Wan-Bissaka was my man of the match in the real life because he played, I think, one of his best games, and he was certainly one of the best players in a red shirt that day. Oh, I don't know if the microphone's picking up that storm outside, but by George. What's that for? Come on, Greenwood, it's up to you, son. Nice one for that defender to tell his grandkids. The easily dispossessed Ronaldo. Oh, and another Bruno masterclass. He does it again. Face full of grass. You don't mind. Lucky not to connect with that challenge. Oh, Linders. Oh, I think Lindelof played pretty well in this game as well. And I think he's really showing his value in the matches that he is playing, even if he knows he's not going to be first choice when Maguire's available. It's kind of weird that he just got made captain of his nation just at the same point that he lost his guaranteed start on the at club level. Oh, as far as the Dean Henderson and David De Gea debate goes, I think the debate was silenced thanks to nature because he got Henderson got COVID during the off season. And so he's got digital COVID. He's had digital COVID as well in my version. But I'm not a big fan of the idea of having two goalkeepers alternating in different competitions. But I do see Henderson as a long-term replacement for De Gea, so as long as he doesn't mind sticking around for another couple of years, I can imagine De Gea wanting to finish his career at Real Madrid as soon as Courtois has left the equation. Let's see if De Gea's recent run of form gets him back into the Spanish national team. Oh, and Ronaldo picks out the goal from a fantastic cross. Who was the crosser? I think it was Sancho, wasn't it? Yeah. Well, this is turning into quite whitewashing. So I'm going to let Greenwood go back out on the wing, and I'm going to let Ronaldo take his bows and step off. Good interception. Of course, for Greenwood, in many ways, the arrival of Cavani was great for him, because it took a little bit of the pressure off him to not be the only usable striker. But Cavani's injured enough that Greenwood still got plenty of games. But with the surprise addition of Ronaldo, Greenwood's dropped down the pecking order, and I think that his game has suffered for it. But I think that that's only a question of time, because he's got to get used to playing with Ronaldo on the pitch. Ronaldo's always going to tell you off if you have a shot and miss, and he was standing there in the middle waiting for it. But if you score him, then he'll let you off. And I think that's the same kind of pressure that a lot of the Portuguese national players feel as well when Ronaldo's in the side. Great block. Oh, and he didn't even give away a corner. I thought that was going to be a corner. I don't think Shaw's having the same level of season as he had last year either, but I do wonder if that might change with the reintroduction of Rashford, because the two definitely help each other along. I'm looking forward to when Rashford's back, because then I'm going to have the same headache of how do you get all of these great players into one team. I think I'll be going with 3 at the back more often. Something which I'm 100% sure Ollie will pretty much never do. Don't give it away there, though. Maybe they're not going to score 3 in the last umpteen seconds. Or are they? McTominay says no. Why is Luke Shaw over on the right? He didn't get the memo. Oh, maybe he's on for a brace. Oh, just swung for it and they got the foot in the way of it. Oof. Hey. another great victory. I think this is how this game should have ended. Not least of all because Everton were missing Richard, what's his name? Richarlison, and Calvert-Lewin. But of course, the digital players aren't hindered by the same kind of problems that real life players have, which is that they have to get to know each other, and these kind of relationships build up over time. I think Varane has been absolutely amazing how quickly he's settled in, but Sancho's still taking a bit of time. And we could mention Donny van de Beek, who for me hasn't played in either of these two matches, because if I were the manager and he threw his chewing gum out like he did that game, then he wouldn't be playing again, ever. Ollie was the super sub, and maybe occasionally he might have expressed disappointment at not playing, but he would always have done that in private. He certainly would never have dared to question Alex Ferguson's authority. And that kind of goes back to what I was saying about Ronaldo. About Ronaldo, that Ronaldo and Solskjaer were actually in the same team. So the legend status that Solskjaer had brought back in the caretaker manager days is secondary to the legendary status that Ronaldo has right now. And if Ronaldo says to him, "I'm not coming off," then Ronaldo ain't coming off. Let me know in the comments below if you think I should set the difficulty level up one, because the technical difficulties that I was experiencing in the earlier videos seems to have been corrected, and there's now no lag on the video while I'm playing. So maybe I could bump it up one notch if you like. But yeah, so another resounding victory. I promised last week that I would make a short compilation to summarise the FAM season so far, but I hadn't realised at that time that there was an international break coming up, so that will be what I shall be doing next week. Okay. Plus, during the international break, I'll be trying to get some more of my long format videos edited and out. So, for FAM only viewers, see you in a couple of weeks' time. But for those who like the other aspects of my channel, I'll see you very soon. Bye bye.